PCS wants to say in addressing this marvellous rally, one of 50 around the country, is that we want the media and the politicians to understand we don't think today is about separate disputes, that one group of workers is worth more than any other. We support all of the unions on strike.
That it wasn't the people who clean our hospitals, or teach our kids, or put out fires, or look after our elderly, who caused the economic crisis. It was the spiffs in the City of London, the billionaires and the banksters who were then bailed out, and it's handouts for them and hardship for the millions.
1.5 million public sector workers are on strike today to break the pay freeze. We're outside the BBC, we're calling on the BBC, get your cameras out, show people around the country that we are the majority, and the majority of people are totally in favour of the strike by public sector workers today.
My name is Rob Williams, I'm the National Chair of the National Shop Stewards Network, and we are supporting the strike today by well over 1 million workers, plus 1.5 million public sector workers who are fighting for a decent pay rise to break the pay freeze. So today is a fantastic day. I've been around the picket lines. There is huge support for these workers, and the trade unions today are not just fighting for themselves, they're fighting for millions and millions of working class people who are being hammered by the austerity of this fat cat government. What we are saying is, from the National Shop Stewards Network, today has to be the start, not the end. Unison has already named September the 9th and 10th as the next 2 days of strike action, and we appeal to all the trade unions to get together after today to finalise those strike dates, but more than that, to get together to build up for those strikes.
Effectively, we've had about 20% plus cut in living standards under this government, and it's enough is enough time, really.
We're outside Woodford House in Whitehall. It's the main Department of Health building. We have about 200 members in this building so far. Over 90% are out on strike today in support of our campaign for fair pay. Basically, we've had 2 years of a pay freeze and now second year of a pay cap. So members are about sort of £6,000 down where they should be with a reasonable above inflation pay rise. So people are angry, and today they're showing their support by striking in big numbers across London, across the department.
We've been offered 1% this year. We had 1% last year. Over the last 4 years, we've had nothing. It's getting ridiculous. 20% inflation at least over the last 4 or 5 years. Pay's going down. Effectively, in real terms, we've been offered nothing. MPs get 11% QED.
It's going to be a fantastic demonstration here today, but it can only be the start. We need the type of escalated, continuous action, looking over to the private sector to get workers together in their millions to take on this government.
But you know, we want the coalition to understand this. 2 years ago, we were in places like this with a magnificent strike over pensions in November 2011. 2 million people on strike. But comrades, we must learn the mistakes of what happened after that battle. Because after 1 day of action, it was allowed to fizzle out, and union after union after union had to settle for unacceptable pension terms. We have got to say we must not do that again. What we have to do following today is to say this. Let's hope they take notice. Let's hope they get around the table and talk to us. Let's hope they finally feel a bit of humanity and compassion in their Tory bones. Now, I'm an optimist, but I don't think that's likely. So if that's not going to happen, what have we got to say? We've got to say that today is just the beginning. We've got to say that today is something starting that they must understand will get bigger and bigger. And therefore, on behalf of PCS, I want to finish by saying I hope every union on strike today, and every union thinking about joining the action, meets together as a matter of urgency to ensure that further action is planned and coordinated and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Today's been fantastic, but if we need to do more, we must do more. And we will be with you all the way in that struggle. Solidarity, comrades, fair pay for all the services.